What if the way you see yourself is quietly teaching you how to live your life? Think about that for a moment. Before you walk into a room, you already carry an idea of who you are. Before you try something new, there is usually a little voice inside telling you what you think is possible for you. Before the world tells you who you are, you've already been telling yourself a story. Maybe the story is, I'm shy. I'm not very good at this. Other people are more talented than me. Things never seem to work out for me. And when you hear the same story enough times, something interesting happens. You begin living like it's true. If you believe you're not confident, you may hide when you really want to speak. If you believe you're not capable, you may never try the thing you could have become amazing at. If you believe nothing works out for you, you may become so focused on what's going wrong that you barely notice what's going right. But here's the beautiful part. The story isn't finished. You are allowed to tell yourself something new. You are allowed to decide, maybe I am capable. Maybe I can learn. Maybe I belong in beautiful rooms. Maybe there are possibilities for me that I haven't even discovered yet. Maybe I am far more powerful than the version of me I've been believing in. And that's where something begins to change. Not necessarily because the whole world suddenly becomes different, but because you begin meeting the world differently. You stand a little taller, you speak a little more clearly, you try something you would have been afraid to try before. You stop automatically assuming something won't work. You begin noticing opportunities you once overlooked. You give yourself permission to imagine more. And little by little, the person you see inside begins appearing in the way you live outside. That's why your imagination is so powerful. Your imagination isn't only a place where you dream about houses, vacations, relationships, money, or success. You can use your imagination to practice being peaceful, being confident, being loving, being courageous, being grateful, being someone who trusts themselves. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself living a life that feels beautiful to you. But don't only look at what you have. Look at who you are. How does that version of you wake up in the morning? How do you speak to yourself? How do you treat other people? How do you walk into a room? How do you handle disappointment? What happens when something doesn't work the first time? Maybe this version of you doesn't immediately panic. Maybe you breathe and think, it's okay, I'll figure it out. Maybe you don't spend your life comparing yourself to everyone around you. Maybe you think, their success doesn't take anything away from me. There is room for me too. Maybe when an opportunity appears, instead of thinking, who am I to do that? You think, why couldn't it be me? And when something beautiful happens, you don't immediately become afraid of losing it. You receive it, you enjoy it, you say, how incredibly fortunate am I? That's an entirely different way of experiencing life. And you don't have to wait until someday to begin. That's the secret. You don't wait until you're successful to believe you're capable. You practice believing in yourself while you're building. You don't wait until everything is peaceful to become peaceful. You practice returning to peace in the middle of uncertainty. You don't wait for the perfect life before becoming grateful. You find something beautiful to appreciate today. You don't wait until everyone chooses you before deciding you're worthy. You choose yourself first, and then you practice again and again and again, because the first time you tell yourself a new story, it might feel unfamiliar. That's okay. New things often feel unfamiliar before they feel natural. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you have to think about everything: balance, pedaling, steering, looking ahead. But after enough practice, you don't have to think about every little movement anymore. You simply ride. Your beliefs can become familiar in a similar way. At first, I am confident might feel new. I am worthy might feel new. I trust myself might feel new. I am so incredibly fortunate might feel new. But every day you practice seeing yourself differently. And then you begin making choices from that new understanding. You speak when you would have stayed quiet. You try when you would have given up. You say no when something doesn't honor you. You say yes when something excites you. You take better care of yourself. You become more intentional with your time. You stop asking the world for permission to become who you know you can be. And eventually, you look at yourself and realize, this isn't just something I'm telling myself anymore. This is how I live. That's why becoming your next version doesn't always require one enormous moment. Sometimes it begins with one simple decision. I am no longer going to keep telling myself a story that makes my life smaller. I choose a story that allows me to grow. I choose to see myself as capable. I choose to see myself as worthy. I choose to believe I can learn. I choose to believe I can change. I choose gratitude. I choose possibility. I choose courage. I choose to believe there is more life for me to experience. And then I live in a way that supports those beliefs. Because maybe becoming isn't about turning into somebody completely different. Maybe it's about removing all the old stories that convinced you that you couldn't be who you already knew you were capable of becoming. So today, picture that version of yourself again. See them clearly, feel their peace, feel their confidence, feel their gratitude, and then open your eyes and ask, what is one thing that version of me would do today? Do that. Then tomorrow, choose again and again, until one day you won't have to imagine that version of yourself anymore. You'll look in the mirror and realize, I am living as them now. Your inner story changed, your choices followed, and little by little, your life began telling a different story too. Follow, listen, rewire, believe, become.